What's up, you guys? Welcome to this week's weekly Web3 gaming insights, and yeah, lots of exciting stuff happening, so let's get to it. In terms of market conditions and sentiment, we're around a pivot zone in the Bitcoin region where it doesn't have enough firepower to get to 31K as of yet. However, it's still hovering around the 30K area, and then to remain in the bullish bias, it just needs to hover above 24, 25K region, so it has a lot of leeway. I can see it totally like hovering between that range in the next few months or something, but we never know. So because we never know, it's probably not ideal situations to make any big plays or anything, so I'm probably just going to wait to see what happens. Ethereum is also matching the Bitcoin price action. Then NFT games, there's a slight pump in coins, probably in relation to the altcoin pump from the XRP news. And the NFT floors are remaining very similarly. Then for plays, I took a little bit of profit from MATIC, from the alt pump into cash, and just waiting to see what happens. And for stocks, it still is going up, which is crazy, and it's approaching the 453 resistance on the SPY, so RSI is still moving up. It's at 76, so I don't know. We'll see. It could keep going up, but it has been so long since it has taken at least like a small correction. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to rush into buying more stocks, or I'm just going to wait until there's like a more clear dip before getting into it. Then for the fear greed indicator, it's on neutral, which is surprisingly, but maybe it's just the Web3 gaming sector is more euphoric while the other ones are maybe less euphoric, maybe they're more neutral. So it makes sense since NFTs price has stayed the same. Then for Discord chat and Twitter sentiment, slightly more positive or moderately more positive than usual on the Web3 gaming side. Then overall action plan, still staying into the long-term bags, but not rushing into any particular plays, to be honest. Resource allocation, up to cash. Lock savings remains the same. Stocks decrease a little bit. Blue chip cryptos, same. Swing trade blue chip cryptos, same. NFT gaming, the same, but probably closer to zero since I'm not really actively looking for anything unless there's like a major dip or something, right? Then in terms of trends, first one's only the strongest survive, so we see bigger players like Google, Microsoft, and the other big Web3 players like Mantle Network starting their fun, G7 DAO too. Like we have Arbitrum onboarding games from Polygon to their network, and yeah, I think the bigger communities with bigger treasuries, strong communities, they're assimilating these smaller communities into theirs. So very curious to see how they do that. Along with others like Web3 gaming guilds, they might be pivoting into like a Web2 UGC focused games, or that could be an avenue. So that could also be a great opportunity for builders to bridge that gap. So very curious to see how that turns out. Then for mini games galore, we have bigger projects like Cool Cats and Step In building out other mini games. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out long term, as there are other projects like Board 8 Yacht Club building their own mini games and etc. So we'll see whether it actually gets diluted or not long term, but I totally see during the bull market it gets hyped up a lot from that. That third one, alt's pumpy, so major coins like Sol, Optimism, MATIC, Bit, etc. were pumping, so we'll see if that helps the momentum upward or not, but we'll see what happens. Then for news, lots of exciting stuff like Hyperplay integrating games like Decentral Games, Dates and Arita, Mighty Action Heroes, EFCC going on. The Summon Toll, we'll keep an eye out for that. LSU's closed alpha incoming, the Cool Cats game, Set11 adopting NFTs. That was unexpected, but really cool. Then Google Play allowing blockchain elements on the App Store. That was a really big one. Mountain Network's new NFT drop for early contributors. Really cool. So that could be an opportunity there if you want to contribute to DAO. Then Polygon's new token poll. So I'm very curious to see how that gets received. Then we have, what's his name? Alex Becker and Tom Bayou combining together partnering. So very cool. Very curious to see how that turns out. Inception, which is the rebranded name of Shiba Shiba Doge, and now Exterior partnering. So curious to see how that turns out. Then, like the previously mentioned, Gas Heroes, a new minigame from Stepping Team. Then Mighty Action Heroes coming to Arbitrum as they're stealing a lot of the Polygon and other alts market share. Then Capital Insights, we have mining stocks going up already, so I think that's an easier way for retail to get into crypto besides ETFs too. So I could totally see them going up again during the bull market, or I mean, it has been going up a lot the past year since people have been getting hyped about the BlackRock and other news. The Microsoft setting up its foundations through RegGG's great analysis. Then Simon has good insights into the cost of building a game studio, Exterior with another raise, and we have other layoffs incoming, like from their team, I believe. I forgot what team it was. Let me double check. Dapper Labs. Yeah, Dapper Labs. That's big. Then we also saw some emails leaking from Binance too. So, and I've also heard of other game studios laying off workers or cutting hours. So very rough stuff. Then Sir Sapient with really good insights, like the Web3 guilds and how they're potentially pivoting, and other insights too. Then for learning, we have great points like Layla. She brought up about leaning towards, or I guess suggesting leaning towards over communication side, since a lot of times miscommunications happen between a team because some person assumes that someone else knows something but they actually don't. So that's a good point to bring up. Then Agile Peter, he also brought up another great point of oftentimes we do a lot of great stuff, but then we do other bad stuff, which ends up fucking us over. So I think being able to not only do the good stuff, but also having the discipline and presence to not do the bad stuff is important too. Then Paul from PGF, he has great tips to apply to do daily. Highly recommend checking it out to see which ones you can do. Maybe apply one or two, then get it in habits. Then closing remarks. I think something I've been thinking about recently is the concept of making success easy, which is it goes back to that Agile Peter's concept of not doing bad stuff to take away from the good stuff that you've already done. And I've tried to implement this with cooking the past week, where I tried to add a reward, like if I successfully cook 6 meals in a row and save like I don't know, $6 to $7 average each meal, then that's around like $40 save. So I will reward myself for maybe like a $30 to $50 meal that is healthy and feels good. Then the reward is like I get to go in this fancier restaurant, eat great food, feel good. Like then let it be a high quality food, not like a bunch of junk food, along with making it easier. So mass buying all my proteins and veggies and freezing them and taking them out throughout the week. So I used to buy food like every 2-3 days to maximize freshness, but in the end I think whenever there's like bad weather or something that's like super stormy or super cold or something, I end up just buying takeout. So ideally I would be able to buy fresh food every 2-3 days and cook every time, but in reality when I tried, I just ended up being lazy. So it is what it is. And yeah, so I think this concept of making good habits automatic and making it very rewarding, like automatic with the buying 1 times per week, heavily rewarding with buying a fancier meal every 6 meals after doing that, and making bad habits really hard to do. So I think probably something I should do is to delete any like apps such as DoorDash or Uber Eats to make it easier. I should probably do that, now that I think about it, to make it easier, and very painful, I think just journaling and thinking about how lazy you feel, how lethargic, unmotivated you feel after doing it, after eating junk food, you just feel like you want to lay on the couch all day and not do anything, and just to really observe and be present in that. But yeah, if you guys find that meaningful, then feel free to try to do a good habit out of that concept. But that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and talk to y'all soon.